Yep.
in that cycle.
Exactly. So it's usually around 30. Sometimes it's 29. Sometimes it's 28. Sometimes it's 32. If everybody calls in sick. Meter readers call in sick. Okay? And that tells you how much kilowatt hours you've used and what the monthly numbers were. That's really a big gross number. I like to compare that a lot to going to a grocery store. Anybody here ever go to a grocery store? Okay? Imagine if you could go into a grocery store, shop all month, and then at the end of the month they'd send you a bill. Do you think your spending would go up or down? Probably go up, right? Because you say, yeah, I'll pay for it next month, that'll be fine, and you buy some more cookies, right? So that's the problem. One of the problems with electricity in the system as it is today is that you spend all this electricity, you don't even know what you did with it. At the end of the month they send you a bill, you got to pay it. Okay? Kind of a crazy system. This is going to help you to fix that. One of the things, the information you can get there, you can figure out what your kilowatt hour per day usage was. Simply take your usage, divide by the number of days, there's your kilowatt hour usage per day. There's more of this in detail in the paperwork, but it's a pretty simple way to find out your kilowatt hour usage historically. And that's where we want to kind of start. You always want to have a plan and have an idea as to some of it you may need, some of it you won't, but it's there in case as you're going through, you may decide to come back and take a look at it if you're not sure. That's some place where I'm sure I could use some help in the words I use that you didn't know and words that I put in here that you didn't need. Okay? Because as bad as it is not to have the right information, it can be just as bad as you have too much information and you have to try to parse through it, not knowing what has value for you. But the idea is that this compact fluorescent and this incandescent give out the same amount of light. This uses 22 watts, this uses 104 watts, which is a better deal. Right, compact fluorescent, right? So that's why, I mean, you can measure it now. You don't have to believe what the utility company tells you. You can actually measure this and see the difference. See, it's up to 23 as it warms up. One of the things about loads, too, is that loads change when they warm up. When you plug things in at first, turn them on, they're cold. Things need to balance out a little. So don't rush with this. Take your time, plug it in, let it settle in a little bit, and you get it. Or don't let it settle. Lie. Make up some numbers. But you're going to have this. You're going to have this somewhere on your house. It's going to be an electric meter. And this is, again, this is a tool we've gone through. Hopefully every meter reader has heard at least a dozen times that this is not a theft device, okay? that it's supposed to be on the unit, okay? We did have a couple of instances where guys didn't get it, and we had to explain to them, no, it's supposed to be there, okay? We think everybody's heard that at this point, but this will go on your meter. You'll find your meter someplace. Most of them are outside. Some of the older installations, you might find it in your basement, okay? So, but it's probably outside. But this is your kilowatt usage, okay? How many kilowatts you're using, right? Or kilowatt hours, right? It'll show you both. You just push a button. It'll show you your dollar amounts once it's all set up. It'll tell you how many dollars you've used since the last time. Push buttons and it beeps. The light.
Since the last time of what?
Since the last time you checked it.
Oh.
Okay, so you want to keep a log.
Right, you can keep a log. You can say, okay.
You want to check it at the same time every day.
That's not a bad idea.
Let's say you checked it twice a day, why not
Or you might say, somebody's running, we talked about the stove before. You might say, hey, we're going to be, it's Saturday afternoon, and Dad bakes bread all Saturday afternoon. So I'm going to check it before he gets started, and then I'm going to check it when it's done, and I'm going to say, okay, Dad's baking bread was this many watts. Last Saturday, when he wasn't baking bread, it was this many watts, so that's how many watts I'm going to